Hello everybody and welcome to your weekly episode of That's My Opinion. I'm your host Molly Jordan and let's get to it. If anybody had a comment to last week's edition, it could have been, doesn't Identity Thief start February 8th? Yes, it does. We're not doing Identity Thief this week, obviously. So I am choosing... Because Identity Thief didn't start till February 8th, I was stuck with The Last Stand and Broken City, neither of which I wanted to see. One I did, but let's save that review for another time. So instead, this week's movies are Hyde Park on Hudson and Lincoln. We're doing a 2-for-1 since we're both dead presidents. Older movies, but thought we'd combine them together since I saw them both this weekend. We'll start with Hyde Park. Hyde Park starring Bill Murray, Laura Linney. Bill Murray plays FDR. It takes place in 1939, and it was an interesting movie. If you watch the preview, this movie is about when the King and Queen in 1939 came to visit FDR in his vacation home in Hyde Park on Hudson. And it's this cute little back and forth, like, oh, president with polio and king with a stutter, who we all know about because we saw King's speech. So there was something to associate with, and it was this cute little, great little movie. However, that's only half of this movie, and the other half is nowhere in the preview, or if it is, it's really hidden. The other half of this movie is sex, secrets, and scandal. You'd have never known that from the preview. I had a problem with it. It was uncomfortable. If I had brought my mom to this one, I would have been really uncomfortable. There's this hand job scene. It's just totally like, did that happen? This is inappropriate. So apparently this president was the first poly president in the whole world. He had all these affairs. I had no idea. He was sleeping with his cousin. He was sleeping with his secretary. Apparently Eleanor was a lesbian. Who knew? Did we need to know that? Did we need this movie, who apparently came from the diaries of this woman that Laura Linney plays? Daisy is her name. It's the story that came from Daisy's diaries when she died at 100 and all the secrets were out. I don't know that we need to know that Eleanor was a lesbian, but it very much comes across in comments and in looks and in... I think they captured her well. According to history, and according to watching this movie, apparently it was very accurate. Okay. I don't know that we needed it that accurate. The one thing that I really want to give credit to this movie for was, however, the cinematography. There were some shots in this movie that were purely artistic. There was a lavender field. It was beautiful. I mean, and it was the awkward scene, though, so it was like, oh, that's really pretty. Oh, God, is that happening? Okay. There was another shot of the back of Daisy's neck that I just, like, you could see her all aflutter, and I thought that was a clever shot. There's some really great focus shots, like somebody took the time with their camera and showed these shots the way an artist would. And the other thing I give this movie props for is Bill Murray really did a good job of being a president. I thought that he was worthy of the nomination of Best Actor. Was that simply Golden Globe, or was that also Academy? I'd have to look that up. Our next movie for review is Lincoln, starring Daniel Day-Lewis, who of course is going to walk away with probably the award, if not all the awards for this movie that are up nominated for. Lincoln was as excellent as everybody's making it out to be. It was really done well. Steven Spielberg directed a great film. It didn't feel like a history lesson, although I really did learn a lot. I didn't know stuff like at the House of Representatives, the president, of course, couldn't be present, but his wife could. That was interesting to me. It's based on this book and how he got the 13th Amendment put in to Congress and the fight for it and all the stories thereof. Every man who's ever played a subsidiary role was in this movie. Like that guy from that movie and that guy from that movie and that old guy. You know that old guy that's in that movie? Yeah, he's in this movie. There were several of those, but there was also some wonderful actors. Sally Field was wonderful. And of course, Tommy Lee Jones, who played Thaddeus Stevens, was excellent. Totally worth the nomination. I know at least Golden Globe. I'm not sure about Academy, but wonderful. Wonderful character, wonderful story. Quite the history lesson. I enjoyed it. Ulysses S. Grant was played by Jared Harris. I thought that was interesting, considering how very British he is. I've never known him not to be in a British role. But he's one of those guys, again, that guy that's from that movie, yeah. Playing Ulysses S. Grant from very southern accent when he's so British was quite interesting. Other things to enjoy about this movie is Steven Spielberg's wonderful job with the movie. He threw in the father role as he throws in all of his movies. There's always something about Steven Spielberg's dad in this movie and his relationship with his father, and he portrayed that through Abraham Lincoln and his 3 sons. I didn't even know he had sons. Again, such a history lesson. Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays his eldest, and he lost a son, and then he has a younger son, and that dad-son role was really done well. Even at the end of the movie, it plays a special role, in my opinion. I'm not going to give that away because that's the end of the movie, and that's not fair. Although I think everybody knows what happens to Lincoln at the end of this movie. Anyway, even though there are parent-child themes in this role, I wouldn't really give it the mommy vote. There's a lot of dead soldier stuff. There's a lot of death and gore and dead soldiers and for the Civil War that was going on. So it's not really something you want to bring your kids to. Maybe a teenager, as it certainly is historical. Of the 2 movies, Hyde Park and Lincoln, what you want to learn history of, I'm not sure you need to know the history of FDR's sex life. But Lincoln as a father and a president, and such an amazing president to get the 13th Amendment put through. Much better history lesson. So that's all I have for you this week. I hope you've enjoyed. That's my opinion. And I hope that you come back for more. Next week, I'm not sure what we're doing. Stay tuned. Thanks.